Good morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Thursday, October 3rd. Satellite imagery shows some fast-moving clouds across northern areas, mostly clear skies to the south over most of the region. We have no significant impacts today, but a lot of them coming up as we go into the weekend. A strong cold front pushing on through with widespread southwest winds, low humidity, gusts near 30, where you see the orange, gusts getting in well up into the 40s, where you see the brown in areas where we don't need them, where we have existing large fires and teams out. And those winds will linger in eastern areas, both in Wyoming, eastern Idaho, as well as along and east of the Wasatch as we go into Saturday. The front may produce a couple of showers, maybe a couple of drops only, or maybe even nothing up towards the Salmon River, but nothing consequential. We had no precip or lightning past 24 hours. We had fairly light initial TAC 11 fires for 38 acres, about 900 acres of large fire growth, and it has been bone dry across the entire geographic area, almost no precip, and you can see the percent of normal in the red, near 0% region-wide. We see that on the drought indices also. We see that here on the main drought index. A lot of areas in the brown here are in the moderate drought index. Now remember, we started fire season with no drought across most areas, and the flash drought also showing some increasing values as well. And our ERC point map definitely looking more like an August map with a lot of 90th, 97th percentiles throughout much of the region, where you see the reds, the dark reds, even some purples. Now, the 100-hour fuels, these dark gold areas are mid to upper single-digit values. Those are critical and typical of mid to late summer, and we're seeing those region-wide, even a few locally lower values down in southern Nevada. Looking at some of our fuel charts, looking at the salmon chalice, ERCs are poking up towards record levels for this time of year. If you draw a straight line from where it is now, very close to the mid to late summer normals. Same thing with western Wyoming. They're actually above what they normally peak out at during the summer and expected to go up a little bit and flatten out. Now, the upper level map for today shows a broad high pressure ridge, dry. You can see our PSAs mostly are in that moderate brown category. Humidity levels low. They're in the mid to upper teens up north, single digits down south. Winds fairly light, maybe northwest winds of 10 to 20 miles an hour along and east of the Wasatch and locally along the Sierra front, otherwise slope winds dominating. Now on Friday, a strong cold front coming through. You see some of these wind barbs, 50 knots, 45 knots, 50 knots. There is some upper level moisture, but not enough to produce precipitation. So at worst, it will dim the sun a little bit, maybe prevent some of the winds from mixing down to the surfaces strongly down south. But otherwise, strong winds. We have high risk for a very large area of northern Nevada, much of Idaho and western Wyoming, and across the Wasatch as well. I see the humidities are dry, even though there's a cold frontal passage, temperatures will drop off a little bit. Still seeing mid to upper teens in our humidity further north, and again, very dry down south. You see the winds here, these, not just the orange, but the purple shades are gusts in the 40s that we're seeing through here on Friday. And then on Saturday, the front moves out. We still have some good northwest winds, enough to leave high risk lingering in far eastern areas. That's the western Wyoming and northeast Utah. Probably not enough for any precipitation through here. This front may drop a few sprinkles up north. We'll see. Here are the winds, still quite strong, enhanced by the orographics across parts of Wyoming and northern Utah, and some moderate breezes elsewhere. See the humidity's coming up a little bit. Behind the front, cooler air, so temperatures dropping. That typically brings the humidity up just a little bit, but still feels critically dry. So the only precipitation chances we really see is maybe an isolated shower in some parts of the central Idaho mountains, but most of it will be north and east of there. And then on Sunday, again, high pressure building in. Still have this mid-level moisture through here. Some of the breezes may be strong enough up north to, again, issue high risk for gusts near 30 miles an hour and low humidity up in the north. And then on Monday, the high pressure builds, and this moisture continues to linger. And it's not until this low starts carving out across Southern California that there may be enough to just drop an isolated shower or two in some spots. We'll see. But as we get towards Wednesday, another strong cold front approaches the west coast, and strong winds and a tongue of drier air ahead of it. So we are not out of the woods even through the 7-day period. These are the 7-day precip totals, and the 8 to 14-day outlook shows no relief. Above normal temperatures. Now, there is a potential for above normal precipitation. We show that upper level low. It could trigger a few showers here, but amounts I think would be fairly light. And the areas where we really need the rain up north, we're not seeing much chances of that going through the second week of October. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.